What's up, y'all? Welcome to Next Goal Wins. We're back out here with another reaction video. Today we're reacting to Ronaldo was right about Garnacho. Garnacho used to be one of my favorite players at Manchester United, but now he's at Chelsea and he's kind of washed up, bro. He's been at Chelsea for this whole season. I think he scored a couple goals, but Chelsea, as you know, is a pretty trash club. You know, they have so many young ballers, but they're mid-table, bro. United is ahead of Chelsea, which you would not think about. You know, Chelsea won the Club World Cup, but they're kind of trash right now, bro. And Garnacho, you know, I guess Amram was right for selling him, bro. When they did sell him for only 40 M's, I was like, bro, I wish Garnacho stayed, bro. You know, because I love Manu, I love Garnacho, but yeah, bro, he's gone now. And we're gonna see why Ronaldo was right. You know, we got this video right here. We're reacting to it. It's a newer video. You know, shout out Blair. This guy only has 6K followers, bro, but this video almost has 1 million views. So he's clearly doing something right. Let's get straight into it.
Alejandro Garnacho is the perfect example of everything Cristiano Ronaldo described before leaving Manchester United.
You listen from one side and they go away from another side.
In the next 18 months, that same player managed to become a Manchester United starter and the most hated face the club has ever seen.
Don't surprise me, but in the same...
Bro, look at Garnacho, bro. You know he wants to be like Ronaldo. Isn't that kind of crazy? He's born in Argentina, but his favorite player is Ronaldo.
Way is a little bit shame.
This is not a story about a player who was bad. This is a story about a player who was rewarded for the best goal.
Damn, bro, I remember that goal, that bicycle kick against Everton. That was S, bro. That was Rooney S. That was better than the Rooney bicycle against Man City in the derby. He won the... Did he not win the Puskas award for that goal?
Of the year. It all starts in 2022. Garnacho literally forces his way into the United first team purely because he was that good. At that time, Marcus Rashford was playing the worst football of his career. 25 games, only 4 goals.
Jesus Christ, bro. Rashford had his downs, bro. It's crazy he's at Barcelona right now. Like, this guy literally was terrible, bro. 24 games, he scored 4 goals and 2 assists, and he literally started all those 24 games, bro. Like, jeez, bro. Rashford is ass. Thank God Barcelona have him right now. Hopefully Barcelona can cough up that 40 million to buy him, bro. Just take him off our hands, bro, please.
Goals and 2 assists. That is why Garnacho was a true breath of fresh air. Ralf Rangnick gave him his first minutes, and the potential was seen in him from the start. Unpredictable, raw speed on the left wing, no system, and no...
Look at the sagging right here, bro.
Responsibility. Exactly the type of player that modern football is increasingly missing. The first problems appeared immediately when Ten Hag took over the club. He isolated Garnacho, and he was right to do so. Garnacho had repeatedly arrived late to summer preseason training. Because of that, he was left...
Garnacho loves that blonde hair, bro. I'm telling you. This guy plays better with the blonde.
Without a single minute in the friendly matches.
Alejandro is a young player. He apologized for it.
As soon as the lesson was learned, Ten Hag led him on the pitch. His United lived on transitions and direct play, where Garnacho fit perfectly. His first goal was every teenager's dream, assisted by his idol. That is when his humbler side was visible. Garnacho asked Ronaldo to perform his celebration.
Alejandro Garnacho, how good was he?
We expect a lot from him.
In the Premier League, Ten Hag started using him more and more as a super sub. The turning point happened just 10 days after his first goal. Garnacho enters from the bench at 1-1 and scores the winning goal in the 93rd minute. That was when Ten Hag realized Garnacho is no longer just a talent, he is a match winner. He finished his first full season with only 5 goals. That doesn't seem impressive for an attacker, but out of those, 3 were in the Premier League. Against Fulham in the 93rd minute, against Leeds in the 85th minute, and against Wolves.
That is fact, bro. Garnacho was a match winner, bro. He scored so many game winners, bro. Coming off the bench, last 10-15 minutes of the game, just getting the last goal, last assist. I specifically remember that West Ham game. It was like, you know, United, we always have these back and forth games. You're probably winning this game like 2-0 at halftime. We somehow let the lead slip away. We're probably losing 3-2. Garnacho comes off the bench, scores 2 goals, and then we go through against West Ham. I remember that.
In the 94th minute, you can notice that these goals came under extreme...
And that's why they're like, bro, this guy could be the next Ronaldo. I never thought, it's like, bro, no way this guy's the next Ronaldo. Because... on the ball, like dribbling wise, bro, like he's not special at all. He doesn't really do anything dribbling wise, bro. He does a simple step over and uses his pace. He doesn't do anything special, bro. So I'm like, no way he can be the next Ronaldo, bro. But that bicycle kick, that was Ronaldo-esque.
pressure in the final minutes, deciding the matches. And then came November 2023. Against Everton at Goodison Park, the ball drops, Garnacho turns, and executes a bicycle kick that is seen once.
This guy is the Hall of Fame aura farmer, bro. Every single celebration he does, honestly, yeah, it is Ronaldo. The one where he just, poses on the side, on the advertising boards like Ronaldo. He does the Sui a couple times, saying this guy really thinks he's him.
In a decade, the FIFA Puskas Award for 2024.
Garnacho or Rooney?
Garnacho.
His form did not drop immediately after that goal. He finished the season with 10 goals, which is not a bad stat when we consider United's 8th place finish. The Theatre of Dreams gave him the greatest possible gift. The Stretford End took the sacred song Viva Ronaldo and changed it to Viva Garnacho. Just the name itself, Alejandro Garnacho, started causing excitement at the mere pronunciation, and there was the trap.
This is the bigger mistakes of the players. They think they know everything and they don't learn more.
That is why the comparison with Ronaldo is crucial here. It shows the difference between a real and a fake ego. Cristiano Ronaldo wins his first...
Bro, guess what? You know what's crazy, though? Garnacho is only 21 years old, bro. When Ronaldo was 21, he wasn't even close to Ballon d'Or level at 21. You know what I'm saying? So, Garnacho still has a little bit of time, bro, to pick it up, bro. Next season, he could lock in this summer, and he could ball out next season, bro. You never know, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, he went to Chelsea. Usually players don't ball out their first season after a transfer, bro. You got to give them at least one season to adapt to the new team. Not the new league because it's the same league, but a new team, new players, bro, new environment. You know what I'm saying? Give him one more season, bro, and we'll see what he does next season.
Ballon d'Or at Old Trafford, the ultimate peak for a football player, much more valuable than the Puskas Award. Moreover, he was the first player to win the Puskas Award immediately after the Ballon d'Or. But for Ronaldo, there is no rest. His ego pushed him to work twice as hard. On the other hand, Garnacho received only a fraction of that glory and started living on it. And that came at a cost, because a bicycle kick against Everton is not enough to secure an untouchable status. Everything came due after Ten Hag. Ruben Amorim landed at Old Trafford, bringing the system...
Honestly, Amorim probably messed up Garnacho's career a lot, bro. Ten Hag gave him so much freedom. We played a 4-3-3 under Ten Hag. Under Amorim, he played the 3-5-2, and yeah, he had to do so much defensive work, bro. Garnacho is not a freaking wing back, bro. You can't defend that old. He can run a lot. He runs a lot, but defensively, bro, like, he's not scaring nobody.
From Sporting, where players must adapt. In that system, Garnacho's bicycle kick meant nothing, and that was a blow to his ego. He was left without the freedom he had under Ten Hag. Without work ethic and through disobedience, Garnacho slowly began to feel the bench. He was not invisible. By nature, he is incredible at finding space, but his finishing became a problem. While under Ten Hag, he could miss 3 chances and become man of the match from the 4th. Amorim's game was based on a small number of high-quality chances, but he didn't earn the bench because of missed chances. He earned the bench because United started being defensively vulnerable with him. Statistics showed that United was receiving more attacks down his side. He became the weak point of the system, but that still hadn't ruined his career. December 2024, and the match against Plzen is much more important. Garnacho is waiting to enter the game, and Amorim gives him instructions, and Garnacho just turned around. Because of such disrespect, he was kicked out of the team for the Manchester derby.
They have to fight for the place in the team.
The story didn't stop there. Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, and Harry Maguire.
Damn, bro, this guy actually was a dickhead, bro. This kid did have an ego, bro. That's kind of crazy. Really, bro, he was only like 18, 19 years old at this time, bro. That's insane.
Sat down with him and gave him a friendly piece of advice. Stop thinking only about yourself. Lower your ego.
Where do you see the promise in the squad? Like, you look at their squad now, you look at Garnacho.
They don't depend only of the talent. It's more than that.
Ronaldo's words here become clearer than ever. And when the Europa League final arrived, Amorim brings him on in the 71st minute instead of Mason Mount. It was one of the most important matches in the club's modern era for United, and they lost. Did he deserve to start then? If you ask his ego, yeah.
Don't even get me started, bro. The game against Tottenham, absolute joke, team. Absolute joke, bro. I'm not gonna lie though. I would be choked, bro. If that was me as well, bro. Like, leading up to that Europa League, Garnacho did start every single game, bro. Leading up to that Europa League, I would be fucking pissed, bro. And also, if you actually look at the roster of the Europa League, we have players like Luke Shaw. We have players like Maguire. We have players that didn't even play the whole fucking season starting in that game, bro. So, honestly, yeah, that's why he was pissed, bro. And I'd be pissed as well, bro. I'm starting the semifinal, the quarterfinal, and then in the final you decide to put Luke Shaw in front of me, I'd be pissed as well, bro, because Luke Shaw's dog shit. Or Mason Mount. I think it was Mason Mount, actually. He subbed out Garnacho to put in Mason Mount ahead of him. Honestly, that is why he crashed out, and that's a rightful crash out, bro. Putting Mason Mount ahead of you, Mason Mount, who's been here for like 2-3 years and is injured every single month, he's picked up like 15 different separate injuries, bro. And he's been here for 2 years, bro. Mason Mount collects $250K a week and he barely even plays, bro. He's pathetic, bro. And that's the issue with United, bro. We have players like that are just dog shit, bro. Collecting money and not even actually performing. Not even being fit. Malacia. Who knows about Malacia, bro? He's still here. He's still here. He was Ten Hag's first signing. And he's probably played less than 5 games for United, bro. He's an absolute waste, man, bro. So yeah, I'm not gonna hit on Garnacho, bro. You know, at least Garnacho actually put in some work for us.
Yes, but in the semifinal itself, he missed a clear sitter. At the press conference after the game, Garnacho says, "I played every game, and today I get 20 minutes."
He cares more about his own individual success than he does about the team.
Amorim did not cross him out of the team discreetly in the office. Instead, at a team meeting in front of the entire dressing room, he told him directly, "You better pray you find a club that will sign you." Meanwhile, there were serious accusations that confidential information was leaking from the Manchester United dressing room directly to Twitter accounts by him and his brother. The goal was to sabotage their own club, but why? His brother was already telling the fans that Garnacho would take Ronaldo's number 7, but that number went to Mason Mount. Just another blow to his ego. The fans stopped saying his name. They only called him Subject 49.
Manchester United have good players, but they don't have the mind what is Manchester United is.
An erasure from club history that has practically never been seen in modern football. However much Antony was a flop.
Oh my god. Don't even remind me about Antony, bro. I forgot about him.
He never sabotaged the club, nor humiliated the coach in the middle of a game.
Alejandro Garnacho leaving Manchester United this summer.
At the very end of the transfer window, he manages to sign for Chelsea for $45 million. Everyone thought this would be a reset. Enzo Maresca explained how Garnacho arrived at Stamford Bridge in...
I'm glad he went to Chelsea, bro, because Chelsea's my second favorite club to watch in the Premier League. Manchester United is my first club, obviously, and then Chelsea. I like Chelsea. If I wasn't a United fan, I'd be a Chelsea fan, you know?
Poor form after isolation in Manchester, which was somewhat of an excuse for his weak start at Chelsea. Maresca believed in him, even though he had competition on the left wing, the fast and explosive Jamie Gittin. Any coach would have pushed him to the forefront, but Maresca more often chose Garnacho. He gave him opportunities and time to show himself. By January 1st, 2026, when Maresca got fired due to poor results...
Bro, Maresca didn't get fired because of poor results. Maresca got fired because he fell out with the board at Chelsea, bro. Chelsea were just telling him, Chelsea were literally micromanaging him, you know, not letting him coach, telling him, oh, this player can't play 60 minutes because the computer said so, you know. Chelsea are a club like that, bro. They do everything because the computer says so, because the Excel spreadsheet says we need to buy this player under this age, give him this amount of contract years, so that in 5 years we can sell him for this much and recuperate all this value back and profit. You know, like it's a business at Chelsea, bro. Chelsea aren't trying to win anymore, you know? Think about Chelsea back in the day. They used to buy the best players, bro. They used to consistently win Champions Leagues, Premier Leagues. They used to be at the top, bro. Now Chelsea, what are they doing now, bro? They're buying young players under 21, and they have so many good players, bro, but they have no experience, bro. They have no experience, and they're far away from Premier Leagues and Champions League. They're not going to win anything. If they literally bought a couple older players, bro, you know, they already have the foundations in place, bro. If they bought a quality striker, if they bought Victor Osimhen, you know, that would have saved them. If they bought an actual good goalkeeper, they should have bought Donnarumma, bro. You know, because Chelsea have everything they need to be successful. It's actually insane, bro. Cole Palmer, Estevao, Enzo Fernandez, Reece James, Caicedo. Imagine if they had just a senior, you know, experienced striker, because they do have Joe Pedro, but what if they had Victor Osimhen, you know? They could have easily paid him some money to get here. What if they had an actual quality goalie instead of Sanchez? What if they went and got Donnarumma? You feel me?
Garnacho had played 17 games in the Premier League and scored only 1 goal. He didn't use the departure from Amorim's cage to prove United wrong, like Rashford did. After a short period at Aston Villa, Rashford moved to Barcelona, where under Hansi Flick, he currently has 10 goals and 13 assists. Maresca is succeeded by Liam Rosenior.
I feel he's in a good place. Here at Ali's in a great place.
A coach who demands iron discipline because Chelsea had a huge problem with red cards this season. What is more important, under the new coach, Garnacho barely exists. He is nailed to the bench. Rosenior explained that he is testing him this way. He left him on the bench to see if his head will drop again or if he will start training. Things become even harder when we look at Rosenior's system. It is focused on absolute dominance in the midfield. Because of this, Chelsea now often plays with only one classic winger, and this directly affects Garnacho's minutes. Garnacho was not justifying his 45 million transfer. He became more of an insurmountable financial burden with a 7-year contract.
This guy has a 7-year contract. He's set, bro.
Mainu makes the key difference here. Under the same coach, he had problems just like Garnacho. The system was changed. Amorim does not play with 2 holding midfield.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Amorim, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Amorim, the fact that you were about to sell Kobe Mainu is absolutely criminal, bro. And I'm glad you got sacked, because that's a joke, bro. You were gonna keep Casemiro, you were gonna keep fucking Bruno Fernandes, and sell fucking Kobe Mainu, bro. Holy, bro. Thank God Amorim left, bro. If Amorim was still here, Kobe Mainu wouldn't be here right now, bro. He literally was about to go sign with Napoli on loan, bro. Some bullshit. Thank God, bro. He's here.
And Bruno Fernandes was in Mainu's position. Football-wise, an impossible mission to take a starting spot. He found himself in a massive crisis with Minute. He almost went on loan.
Bro, it's insane, bro. A coach can just decide if you're a good player or not, you know? The coach decides if you play or not, broski.
Part of a career is a few ups and downs, and sometimes it goes in different trajectories, but I think we've seen last week what Kobe can bring.
But everything in his career changes 180 degrees when Michael Carrick took over the club. Carrick gives every player what they need. He doesn't arrive with his rigid system, but adapts to each individual player and looks to extract the maximum from everyone. And here comes the big what if. What would have happened if Garnacho had managed to tame his ego? Maybe the transfer to Chelsea would never have even happened. Even though it is not too late for a new beginning, he is still only 21 years old. Chelsea destroyed Aston Villa, and even though they conceded a goal first, what is more important, Garnacho used his start. He finished the game with a high rating and 1 assist. And even if he manages to get his career back on track, one thing remains clear. With his ego, he tarnished his own reputation. He got a kicking out of the club that gave him his first minutes. His first career goal came with an assist from his idol, an idol whom he completely misunderstood. Ronaldo never said Garnacho's name, but he didn't have to, because everything Ronaldo ever told young players describes exactly what happened to Garnacho. Garnacho became the greatest proof that Ronaldo was right.
Garnacho, was Ronaldo right? I guess we'll find out at the end of the season, maybe next season. I'm giving Garnacho 1 more year. 1 more year at Chelsea to prove if he really is going to live up to his potential or not. You know, make sure y'all like, make sure y'all follow, make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned for more. Mexico wins. We out of here.